The Constitutional Court has reserved judgment in UDM's plea seeking a secret ballot in the vote of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. While opposition parties joins hand with the UDM in its plea for a secret ballot, both inside and outside the court. On a day when the Office of the Chief Justice issued a statement warning against judicial overreach, the court heard a matter seeking a relief bordering on encroachment. Well, the UDMs argued that the court must order a secret vote to be allowed as the Speaker has refused to do so in the upcoming vote of no confidence against the President.
This is a matter that implicates the interpretation of primarily Section 102(2) of the Constitution, as well as, to some extent, Section 104, or rather Rule 104 of the Rules of the National Assembly.
Inside the National Assembly itself, members are entitled to vote according to personal conscience. That has now crystallized into a constitutional principle.
There is bound to be a time conflict between faithful to the Republic, which is part of the oath of members of Parliament, and the loyalty to the party. We cannot run away from that, and it is then the responsibility of the Speaker to find the middle ground when it comes to that.
The President and the Speaker have denied any constitutional obligation to allow a secret ballot, while both the parties laid emphasis on the futility of secrecy as a tool to ensure fair voting by the MPs.
To hold that vote as sacred would not be inconsistent with the Constitution. Because to hold that vote should be open would not be inconsistent with the Constitution. To confer discretion on the Speaker would not be inconsistent with the Constitution. But it does not follow, it's not sequitur, that if a vote is by open ballot, it would render the Parliament unable to hold the executive to account. That logic does not follow. It can still hold them accountable through an open ballot. If there is a risk, this is what we submit must be the logical resolution of that risk. Members of Parliament must go to the Rules Committee, and they must say to the Rules Committee, here is a risk, and here's the evidence of it, and here are the indicators for it. We then want you to advocate for a rules amendment. That's how you cure that. You don't cure that by inviting a court to say you are not capable of holding the executive to account because there is a risk looming of a description we don't know.
In order for the applicant to succeed in coming to this court under exclusive jurisdiction, it must show that Section 102, subsection 2 of the Constitution imposes an obligation on the National Assembly to have a motion of no confidence in the President to be decided by secret ballot. The said section does not impose such an obligation.
The judgment has been reserved, but the opposition is confident that if a secret vote is allowed, a motion of no confidence will ensure President Zuma's removal from his office.
If we get a secret ballot, we will not even go into impeachment because Zuma won't be president, I can tell you that. If they say the secret ballot is permissible, it's an obligation on Parliament to sanction a secret ballot. When it is nice to put a president, a secret ballot is allowed. But when it is difficult times to remove the president and the entire cabinet, we are told you can't use a secret ballot. So just that line alone guarantees you that the secret ballot is actually more relevant now than ever before.